Hi everybody, my name's Lola. What's yours? Come along with me while I do my first whip and chat. I figured I've been on YouTube long enough. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I figured it was time to tell you my story. So a long time ago, there was this little girl, and she was born to two parents, and she had a brother. And eventually that family split up, and I went to live with my mom and my brother in a different town than my dad's family. I still saw him until I was 12, and magically we were in the way. So my dad had to make a decision between his two kids or his brand new son. And you can imagine what happened. The same time that my new younger brother was born, I got diabetes about 2 weeks before him. And I also had cystic fibrosis at the time. I was born with this at 6 months. I got bronchitis twice, and I got measles. So I was taken to London Hospital in Ontario, and I stayed there. And they diagnosed me with cystic fibrosis. So when I was born, I weighed 6 pounds. And by the time I was 6 months old, I weighed 12 pounds. And then once I figured out what was wrong with me, I finally got better. And I never had any complications except for the diabetes until I was 19. My parents were told that I probably wouldn't go to kindergarten. And then as things got better, they were told I'm probably not going to graduate high school. I did graduate high school, and then I went to grade 13. After that, I went to live with my fiance. I met him in June of 2000, I believe. And in November of that same year, we went to Disney World and we got engaged. And then we started to try to have a baby, which didn't work out. So for 3.5 years, we tried to have a baby, and it just tore us apart. He went off and did his own thing at nighttime, which was also a reason that we broke up, and I went to nursing school. I made it through year 1, and when I started my second semester, he told his mom he didn't want me living anymore. So that kind of screwed up my schooling plan, because where we were living, there was the university. I had to move back with my mother in a different town. And then my brother got extremely sick. And it was a whole bunch of stuff, so I couldn't go to school anymore because I couldn't handle it. So that was that. I lived with my mother. And until I was 30, I didn't realize how very abusive verbally she was to me. Emotionally. And once I moved back after living with my fiance, I realized how life was, and it was not very good. I met my current boyfriend in August of 2004, and we've been together since. Right before I started dating him, my mother sat us both down, all three of us, and she said either she picks me, my mother, or I pick my boyfriend, and my mother was going to unalive herself. So, that was really hard for me because I had to make a decision. And my mother would disappear during the day, and then she would come home and say, "Do you want to know where I was? I was sitting at the dock all day trying to decide if I should drive off." That was really hard to take, but I knew she wasn't serious, because if she was serious, she would have done it. Eventually, my mother got a boyfriend, and she said, "My boyfriend would like to come over and visit, as couples do, and he thinks you should move out." So the next day, I moved into my boyfriend's house, and my mother says, "Yeah, you're not moving in there." And I said, "Want to bet? You kicked me out. I'm going to live with him." Me and my boyfriend have been together for 21 years. We have no kids. We have pets and pets and pets We have had chickens, we have had ducks, we have had, at one time we had 13 cats. Half of them were babies and they moved out. We had a kitten. She ended up being 21 years old. That was my boyfriend's cat. I had my Milo, and we had Uma. And I had Ringo. His name was Ringo John Paul George. And he was the very first decision of my adult life. My mother said I couldn't get him. I said I was going to get him. And she says, no, you're not. And I got him anyways. So when I was 30, I made my very first choice all by myself. And I will never regret it. Ringo passed away I can't remember. It was during COVID. Because I remember we couldn't go in with him. The both of us couldn't go. Only I could go. And I'm still not over it. I can't look at pictures of him. I have trouble talking about him. Because he was just the light of my life. He was just my everything. He would be so sad when I would go in the hospital. He wouldn't do anything. He hated going outside. He would just sit in the window and wait, and it was awful. We were both so stressed out. I also have Eleanor Rigby. He is a boxador. So he's part boxer, part lab. He's got a really, really huge head and a really big body, and he thinks he is the size of a cat. Eleanor has eaten hockey pucks, batteries, lidocaine. We then took him to a parade because we couldn't stay home and we couldn't leave a 6-month-old puppy home alone, high on lidocaine. So that was fun. He is terrified of the horses now. He ate... What else did he eat? Batteries. He used to love to bring in sticks in the house. We were in the backyard one time and he wanted to play with the stick and I bent down to pick something up and his big boxer head ran into mine. My glasses went in my forehead. I had a concussion for 3 years and whiplash. I couldn't look up and I couldn't look left or right. So that was fun. We raised chickens. We had 6. I always tried to get an Easter egger. So that means that like your chicken will lay blue or green eggs. But the babies always end up being roosters, which I was really sad about. But we had some really gorgeous roosters. I live in town, so I'm not really allowed to have roosters. We have incubated ducks. We had one duck, and he was born with no eyes. And his name was Petey. And when you put him in the water, he used to swim sideways. That was fun. He was so cuddly. What else? We used to incubate chickens. I did that for my friend. Since we had the chickens, the one winter it was like minus 35 out, so we had to bring all the chickens into the house for the night because we didn't want chicken popsicles in the morning. So instead, we had chickens in my bathroom. That was fun. What else have we done around here? We have had babies and babies and babies, kittens. Gina has had babies, and she has a son, and his name is Gino. So my cats that we used to have, we had Slim Shady, we had Millie. She's my $1 million baby because her mother, Charlie, stopped giving labor, so we had to go to the vet and have her be born. And then we had Dre, Tupac, Toto, Henry. His name used to be Haley. Who else did we have? Lennon. We have Gina, Dre, Baby, Sadie. We had a Beverly, and she passed away. She had cleft palate, so she wouldn't have survived anyways. We have Lucy Goose. Who else do we have? I think that's it. Shady passed away in November. He got a tooth infection which went into his jaw, and it went really fast. He only lasted about 5 days, and he fell asleep in my arms. That was really hard. So I knit, I crochet. I learned how to knit and crochet when I was trying to get pregnant because I needed something to busy my time, and I needed, I wanted to make baby stuff, but it was too difficult to make baby stuff because I just kept thinking, no, it's never going to happen. And it didn't, but I learned how to knit, and I haven't stopped since. I did have to stop after a while because I knit a baby blanket, and I got tendonitis in my elbows, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't use my arms for anything. Sorry. What else? I think I couldn't knit, so then I learned how to crochet because I could use my right arm. Or not crochet, cross stitch. And then I did that for a long time. And then I had to get cataract surgery, so I couldn't see the patterns anymore without glasses, and it just gave me a headache. So that's why I have a whole bunch of knitting and cross-stitch stuff not done. And then I found diamond painting, and I think I did my first one in 2017. It was the Treasure Hunt by Amy Stewart. It was only a 12 by 14. It was squares. I did it with the tweezers. I didn't mind the squares. I think if I had the right pen, I could have done it. I couldn't figure out how to get the wax to work, though, so that was pretty much a bummer. I didn't seal the painting. I still have it, and it's really, really dusty. So I bought a new one, and I'm going to do it again. My dream cross-stitch is to do one of Amy Stewart's paintings, but they're huge, and I know I'll never finish it. What else? I did epoxy crafts, so I made tumblers and, oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Tumblers and ashtrays and figurines and keychains and a whole bunch of stuff. Can't remember what else. So that was fun. And then I got a Cricut, and I started to make stickers because we were trying to get the government to pay for a drug called Trikafta, which would really help about 90% of people with cystic fibrosis, which is what I have. And I mailed them all across Ontario and the rest of Canada. I had a friend who used to take the CF Can't Wait bumper stickers and put them all over Ottawa, because Ottawa was the one that was the final decision makers about funding the drugs. In that meantime, after that, I was put on oxygen because my lungs were not working. I was having a constant asthma attack. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't stop coughing, like that dry cough. I'm having trouble breathing this week, which is why I put off making this video, because I just can't breathe. I can't. It's just, I don't know. We don't know what's going on. We're not sure if my asthma medication is not working anymore. I don't know. That was 2019. I was put on oxygen. In 2019, there was a GoFundMe started for me because I needed a lung transplant. My lungs had finally reached 29%, so that means that almost only 1/4 of my lungs were working. I would have had to move to Toronto, given up my house. My caretaker would have had to quit their job. We would have had to stay in Toronto for a year or more. It depends on when I would have gotten lungs. I'm only 4'11", so I would have had to have gotten child's lungs, and who knows how long that would have taken. So we figured it out, and I had to decline the lung transplant because I would not have had a caretaker. I have no family. My mom is gone away on purpose. My father left when I was 12. I have no brothers and sisters who can take care of me, and none of my friends could do it. So I had to say no to a transplant. I also figured, there's other people out there who have children, they have jobs, they have family. They have more to live for than I did at the time, and if I could have given the chance to just one more person to get the lung transplant, I would have been okay with that. In 2020, I wasn't in the hospital, which was great because that's when the plague started. But one of my best friends said in March 13th, March 12th, I'm going to come to Canada and we're going to meet up. And that is next day when the world said, nope, nobody is going anywhere. You can't cross the border. You can't leave your house. Nothing. So I'm still waiting for her and me to meet. But we're afraid that the world is going to shut down again if we ever talk about it. In 21, I was put in the hospital for lung failure. And my doctor had to write to the government 3 times, because I was denied, 3 times saying, can she please get this medication, Trikafta, because she's not going to last 6 weeks. So we waited and waited. I was set up with hospice in the meantime because I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything. I was on 5 liters of oxygen 24 hours a day. I was on pain medication to slow my heart down so that I could breathe, and just nothing worked. While I was in the hospital, I think I might have said to myself, and I will do anything if only I could breathe. And that is when I started to have back issues. Something happened to my lower back. So my L5, S1 area, that's your tailbone, where my left leg stopped working. I lost muscle tone, I lost function, I lost feeling in all of my left leg, and I couldn't walk. My leg was swollen. The doctors kept telling me, no, it's just your diabetes. It's because you've had diabetes 30 years. My diabetic doctor said, no, you make them go get an MRI, send you to a neuro, because it is not diabetes. It was only my one leg. So I went to the neuro. I think it took about 6 months to get there. And he said, oh yeah, this is not diabetes. And I thought, thank God. Because if I had just sat there and accepted that it was diabetes, I wouldn't be where I am today. So the neuro said, yes, you have a bunch of herniated discs. You have a bunch of smushed discs. Your tailbone is all screwed up. And that is why your leg is so much smaller. You have atrophy. And that's why you fall all the time. When I fell, probably the last 2 or 3 times, I was always putting my arm out, right? Because that's what you do when you fall. And I ripped the tendons in my left arm. So my arm was useless. I haven't been able to use it for more than a year now. It is getting better, but there are still days that I just can't use my left arm. I can't get surgery to fix it because of my lungs. They can't put me to sleep. So it's like I have no choice. My leg is getting better. It doesn't hurt all the time. I have some days where I have really bad muscle spasms, but nothing horrible. My leg used to feel like I was just sunburnt all the time. And I would stand on the stairs, and all of a sudden I would stop. My leg wouldn't work, and I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's climb up the stairs. Let's go. You could do this. Just move your leg. And I couldn't. And I was frozen. And I was like, okay, I guess we're just staying here for a minute. So, when was that? So probably last year. I saw the doctor again. I got an MRI after 9 months of waiting. And he said, yeah, that's when he found out that all my discs and everything were screwed up. The last year, like this last 2025, hasn't been too bad health-wise. I'm back on prednisone. I can't breathe again. You can probably tell by the way that I'm breathing now. This isn't normal. Usually I can go up the stairs, walk like 2 miles a day, carry stuff mostly with my right arm. But now I'm having problems just like feeding the dog, and we don't know why. So there's that. I'm back on oxygen at nighttime. That's just, I guess it's just part of it. Like I said, I have cystic fibrosis, and people my age are supposed to live to be between 35 and 40. And I'm going to be 44 this year. So I am an extremely senior. patient and just living on borrowed time. That's just the way that it is. I've always known I was going to die early, and I probably will, because I'm just getting to the point of, I don't have any more choices. I have to take antibiotics whenever I get a chest infection. So I can't go out in public a lot because I can't catch what other people have. And if I do, I'm limited on what antibiotics I can take because I am resistant or allergic to many antibiotics. So, what do you do? What else can I tell you? I joined YouTube because I have recently lost my best friend in 2022. Physically, she didn't die, but in 2022 she got into drugs. In 2023 she moved in with her drug friends, and that was the last time I've seen her. She still tries to reach out to me, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. I just don't. I want her back. I would have married this chick. We had plans to go and run away and live in the forest with the animals, with no people, just ourselves, 2 little separate cottages, and just be happy. And then just one day she was gone. We had been friends for 40 years. And then I was left with nobody. There are still days that I can't handle it. I just cry because I'm like, why is everybody leaving me? Everybody's left. Absolutely everybody. I have nobody. And it's really hard, and I just want to have people. And I don't know how to make people stay. I know I'm good enough. I don't know. But anyways, I joined YouTube because I know there's people who have similar situations. They have similar likes, dislikes. I know we have things in common. And I just need people. I will eventually find the group I'm supposed to be in. I know I will, and I have to, because I am so tired of being lonely. And even though you guys are on the other side of a screen, the other side of a phone, whatever, you're still real people, and I like some of you. Some of you I really like. There are certain people I don't like, which is fair, because YouTube is a vast assortment of good to horrible, and that's just fair. I don't have to like everybody. But I have met some incredible people, and without the internet, I never would have. So I have to be grateful for that. I know eventually my boyfriend is going to leave me because he is 20 years older than me, and he has had a heart attack and a stroke. And I have really bad anxiety about that because I'm so afraid to be alone. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea. I have my crafts and I have my paintings, but where am I going to go? And it's just a whole bunch of stuff I can't handle. So, that's me. I am the sort of person who will always have your back, no matter what. I will be your friend, unless you give me a reason not to. And even then, I will probably still come back to you, but I will never trust you again. But be good to me, and I will be good to you. That's all I ask. That's all I want. I want to meet people. I do. I want to be friends with people. I want to be able to say, I have these really awesome friends, and I wish you could meet them and spend time with them because they're just awesome people. And I know there's some of you out there that are like that, and I am so incredibly grateful to have found all of you, because I think this is the year that I really needed it. I am working on the pain of losing my friend, and I think that I am finally getting somewhere over that. And now I have room in my heart to let other people stand at the door to come in. I'm not ready to let everybody into my heart or my head because I don't trust. I don't trust people. That when they tell me that they like me, I just generally, I don't believe them because nobody has ever chosen me before, except for my boyfriend. And I know that I was in a stream the other night and we were doing song lyrics, and I really knew a lot of them, and I think this is ironic because when my mother and my boyfriend and me were standing together, she said that I need to leave my boyfriend and pick her, and my boyfriend said, "Wild horses will never drag me away." And as we know, this is all a Rolling Stones song, Wild Horses. And that was just when I knew that I had to pick him because he knew my song. He knew the lyrics, and that's all it took. Music is a big part in my life. Animals are a big part of my life. Being happy, and just always creating. I'm always creating. From puzzles to, I wish I could draw. I can't. I color, but I'm not very good at it. I don't care. I love making sweaters. I love doing cables in sweaters. I love making socks. I can sew. I make bags. I make a mess. I collect I collect fabric. I collect pets. Books. I've read over 1,200 books. I had to quit because of my cataract surgery, and I just haven't gotten back into it. I don't know. If you have any questions about me, ask me. I don't know if I said this. I live in the southernmost part of Canada, in Ontario. And the whole Canadian government thing is just stressing the crap right out of me. I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. So I don't care if you come to my channel and talk about the government. It's fine, but we have to have limits. Some of it I can handle, some of it I can't. But on my channel also, we can talk about anything. If you ever need to talk to me, I can send you my email, and you can add me on Facebook, and we can go from there. I will always be here for you. I will always be here for anyone that needs somebody. I know what it's like to not have anybody to reach out to, and I never want somebody to feel that way. Excuse me. I guess that's it. There's not much more I think I could put into a first video. I don't know. So yeah, I guess I'm going to let you go. I'm going to leave you with a word from our sponsors, and I want to thank everybody who's been here so far, everybody who will join, and even those who unsubscribe. I don't mind. It's not a competition. I am happy for the people I have met. I am happy for the people that I know are here for me. And there's a few of you who are really, really here for me, and I appreciate you. And I can never thank you enough. So thank you for letting me join you guys. I hope that I never hurt any of you. And if I do, please let me know. And I think that's about it. So let's all just diamond paint and be happy and not worry about anything. No competitions, no slide remarks, no nothing. Just let's all get along. No drama. Let's just live our lives and diamond paint and treat each other kindly, just as we should. I don't see anything wrong with that. And I don't understand why some crafting groups end up being, full of snarky people. I hope our community never does this, and yeah, I just hope it doesn't. So, on that note, thanks for coming here, thanks for watching all my videos, and I hope to release more. Now that I've introduced myself, kind of broke the ice. If you have any questions, let me know. I will answer anything, good or bad, and if I won't answer your question, I will tell you why. Or I will message you privately if I can. If you ever need anything, let me know. I'm here. I might not have been through your situation, but I'm here to listen, and I am here to tell you to go through it and pull up your bootstraps and let's make a plan to get life back on track or whatever issue you're having. So, with that, we will leave you with a sponsor message and see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.